we have infinite lifetimes, and even in this Earth reality,
Mm.
all timelines are existing simultaneously, and every choice that we make shifts us to a specific kind of timeline. And so we're changing timelines all the time. And when we change that timeline, then we have a whole different history. Now, if it's baby steps, that history is going to look very similar to what you've experienced or what you remember. But if you're doing a massive timeline shift, let's say, then your past, it's completely different, and your understanding of it is very
Mm.
different than what it was in that other reality. When we come here to play these roles for each other, like I know with my husband, one of our agreements was that I was going to finally understand what it felt like to be really loved and supported.
Mm. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackard.
And I'm Bianca Reina.
And this is the Haute Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And today we're talking with Dr. Lisa Thomason. And we are talking about galactic keys.
Yes, well, today we had some Mystic Space Weather news over
Right.
the whole time that we were out. So, Mystic Space Weather news. Okay, so everyone, have we been feeling crazy again? Yep, that's because we came out of a wane. So a solar,
That
wane.
was what was wrong with me.
And then it went crazy again because on Sunday night we've got an X class. Remember, X class is our highest level of solar flare. So it's an X class 0.195. And there was a huge X class. Right now we are actually experiencing the geomagnetic storm. Some people actually had their planes canceled or their flights canceled because there was some radiation, like ground earth radiation, that they were citing as the reason why they couldn't get into the air. And so
Tom to ground patrol.
color ear. So there was a massive buildup, symptoms increasing, head pressure, ringing of the ears, jaw tightness, sleeplessness, which may cause other crazy things.
Yep.
Suddenly exhausted, irritable, anxious. Be gentle with yourself right now. Our consciousness is shifting. Try not to overstimulate, overwork, or over blank anything. Trust that by relaxing into the shift, it all aligns even more than expected. And I say electrified. We know that the sun does change our DNA. We've seen this in science. So please, and we also see that it affects all of the different nature, right? So the birds, the migration, everything. Know that it is changing us and it does something to us as well. And this is in a solar maximum. You're going to hear me talk about it again and probably right before Christmas. And I said this before on the last show. We really need to give ourselves grace. Do not be freaking out just because you're going a little bit crazy on your friends. It's all okay. So that's what I got for today's Mystic Space Weather News.
And I've got some morning brew with Woo because I know that you are getting some Christmas presents.
That's right.
And I have some wellness things that I absolutely love. And one of them, I shared the big version of the Skinny Confidential
That's the one
roller.
that somebody thought that was like for nighttime playtime.
I know, right? Because it literally looked like
It
it
does.
for nighttime playtime.
Yay.
And I called it a toy. So I was at Nordstrom's over the holiday and I found that she also has this in a mini size. And what's really cool about it is it has a side
Right.
for contouring and it has another side for just the plain roll.
Oh, fun.
Funny, feel how cold that is. I've left that out all day long.
No kidding.
It wasn't in the freezer.
It's like the Yeti of
It's like
rollers.
the Yeti of ice rollers.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I geek out around stuff like this and it just makes me so happy because it's an easy gift too. So I have a link for it in our Instagram and I will also put it in the chat and I'll send it in the newsletter. But I want you guys to know just an easy, simple gift for us women that like things like this. The other thing I bought from this is also a Skinny Confidential.
She loves her some Skinny Confidential. That's all right. Geek out on them too.
And it's mouth tape. This is the new craze. It helps your jawline. And it also helps you sleep better. So I haven't tried this yet in all realness, But today is her last day for 30% off, and I did want to get it in the show because she sold over $4 million in mouth tape, which is just
phenomenal.
Crazy.
Yeah. I was like, it's
How is
tape
that
for your mouth.
possible?
But it really does, and they were saying, they cited some science that it really does
help that.
Yeah.
The shape of your
Like-
mouth starts to drop down.
Yeah. And
as
like
you
your
get
chin
older,
recedes
if you're a mouth breather, you're like,
at night. Yeah.
yeah. So if you are looking for some cool gifts, just unique, different, and sexy, I think the packaging is really sexy
Yeah.
on these.
And they're all good quality.
Yeah.
I do like that.
So she's got that. She also has and
all healthy.
It's a tinted sunscreen with caffeine. So I haven't tried this either. I will probably give these as gifts, but I thought that you buy one, get one. So I bought one and I got one.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Yep.
You know what I really love about their products though is that you can pick anything up, and she really does a very good job of vetting all of the different places that she sources through. She's really health conscientious in that way and doesn't want any extra, doesn't even choose yoga pants that have any package.
I know.
So
she has a healthy toilet paper in her line, and
just good stuff for the good skin. Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good skin for your body and your health.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that link, you can find it on our Instagram at Haute Hustle Live, Instagram.com/Haute Hustle Live. Look in the bio. It says shop my, and you can get 30% off the Skinny Confidential products.
Thanks.
Yep. That's what I've got for the morning brew.
Woo. Alrighty.
All right. I'm going to bring up Dr. Lisa and we'll get going.
That's right.
Woo. I was reading your bio and I was thinking, I bet she really does have a unique combination between channeling and real life. Bring up her bio.
I wanted to, but we're just moving too fast, but go ahead.
So Dr. Lisa, welcome. Welcome to the show.
So great to be with you guys.
Yeah. Take us back in your background. I know that you have a doctorate in biology, and I know that offers a unique combination with biology, aliens, and channeling different galactic channels.
Yeah,
so take us back. Where did this begin?
We can go there on the show.
We can go everywhere.
Right. Yes. I remember speaking to you during our pre-call, and I go, I've got to get her in here sooner because you're talking exactly where we are right now. And I think it's just a really monumental time. So yes, take us back to your background and how you got to here.
Okay. Yeah, my background is a little bit, I think, different than a lot of people's, where I grew up in a very highly metaphysical, spiritual household.
Yeah.
And so my mother was an astrologer. All her friends were astrologers, psychics, tarot card readers, all the things back in the 70s and 80s. And then when I was 13, we moved from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma to Washington State to attend a spiritual school of enlightenment.
Wow.
Where then I was learning about higher consciousness, parallel realities.
Good on mama.
Wow.
So things, again, this was in 1986.
Yeah.
So like very different than my Bible Belt church going friends were learning. But like I was having these incredible experiences, and I still wanted to be normal and fit in. And so my original degree is in biology. I have a PhD in marine biology, zoology, evolutionary biology. And when I was in graduate school, I would share with my friends my experiences. Okay, so I have been an ET contactee experiencer my entire life, like from womb, in my mother's womb onward. And even though I was having those experiences and all these really beautiful spiritual experiences, again, I'm still trying to pretend to be normal. And so
relate.
In
We like a lot of
people here can.
We even like still go, will you give a podcast? What's it about? It's wooey.
But yes, yeah.
So in grad school, I would share with some of my close friends my experiences with the ETs, my understanding and belief in things like Sasquatch, again, from Washington State. Sasquatch is a thing.
Yeah.
And merpeople and dragons. And they all thought, okay, she's crazy. So I had to hide that side of myself for most of my life. So it wasn't really until I moved to the Big Island of Hawaii 5 years ago that I was able to take off all the masks and fully step in to being who I really am.
Mm.
So that connection with the ETs has always been there. But back in October of 2018, that's when I made the first true spiritual connection with them. And that is what propelled me when I got here to Hawaii to do the work I'm doing now as a galactic ambassador and channeler.
That's fascinating. What does that exactly mean?
The galactic ambassador.
We know, but for our audience, they may not understand what that really means and what that entails.
Okay, so when someone had asked me recently, did someone like knight you or deep that?
And that's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And particularly they asked if a couple of different like humans did that. I won't name their names. And I'm just like, no, I don't need to be given that term by those people. But what my team, my galactic team, they like it just popped into my mind one day, like, okay, you're a galactic ambassador. And so what that really means for me is that I'm here to be a bridge between humanity and our galactic family. I'm here to help people understand that we are all galactic. We all have this lineage. And as we are shifting in humanity from this lower vibrational third dimensional reality to the awakening of fifth dimensional reality, then when we get to that point, we are going to be part of our greater galactic community in our solar system and our galaxy. And I'm really here to help with that bridging and helping people to remember who they really are, where they come from, and how connected they are, so that when we are having open contact here on Earth, there isn't the fear. And there's so much fear in media, Hollywood, the government. And there's nothing to fear. There are people out there in the ufology world that love going down that deep fear rabbit hole.
It's ratings driven, right? If it bleeds, it leads, right?
From a news standpoint.
Exactly. And fear sells. So, and though what I know is that we're all multidimensional, all these at the quantum level, all timelines are existing simultaneously. And whatever we individually are putting our focus on, that is the reality that we're experiencing. So some people want to be like it's us versus them, or the dark force versus the light force, the white hats and all this. And my team, they are in a higher dimensional reality where they're like, that's just a game. I know, they really are. They're like, that's just a game, a polarized game here on Earth. And we are here to remember, number one, that it's a game, and then learn how to play it better and not be in that polarized reality.
Yeah. Let's dive deeper into this. I channel an Arcturian collective, and I read in your bio that you did too. What other galactic confederations and galactic entities do you channel? And can we go and play in some of the channeling?
Okay. Perhaps.
We're just going to dive right in here. We don't like to give the audience any time to make some conclusions about what it is or what it isn't. We just want to show them.
So back in October of 2018, that is when I met my Arcturian family. And even though I had experienced this stuff my whole life, I hadn't consciously ever really met them in a way that I like could interpret. So I was taking a psychic intuition class, and the one that was the spokesperson of the group of them, what I later figured out is I met myself.
How
So
fun.
I am an Arcturian healer, and
Mhm.
my Arcturian name is Uluru, like Ayers Rock in Australia, Uluru.
Mhm.
And I'm a master healer in that
Mhm.
realm. And
Love it.
so when I started channeling, and this came online back in 2022, so it's only been a few years.
Yeah.
And
A lot's
when,
happened in this few
Yeah,
years.
a lot of
And I was going to say that I feel like a lot of people can relate to what you're saying, especially this group.
yes.
So, yeah, it's not shocking, but it's still inspiring to hear your stories, of course.
thank you. And so when they wanted me to start channeling, and at first I was hesitant because that spiritual school that I grew up in was a channeled school, a channeled
Uh-huh.
assistant master. And so
Awesome.
channeling to me, there was such a stigma in the 80s and 90s and
Yes.
early 2000s
Yeah.
about channeling.
Yeah.
And so I never thought like I would do that or that even
Hmm.
that I could. And I, when I had my own podcast, I had one of my publishers on, and she's been channeling Kuan Yin for 20 years.
Oh,
And I,
Yeah.
neat.
you need to teach a channeling class, and I'm going to take it because I wanted to learn how to do it properly.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I had read a book, and with the book, I was like, okay, yeah, I can intellectualize this, but it's not a practical
I
thing.
gotcha.
And so when I learned how to raise that vibration and let them come through and really let my ego, my personality step to the side, then I was like, okay, there's nothing scary about this. So that started coming through in 22. And then beginning of 23, after I was really getting comfortable with that energy, because it's such a high vibrational energy that it was taxing my body. Like I would
Mhm.
need to
Interesting.
nap and drink electrolytes and all the things. And so in beginning of 23, they told me, okay, it's time to bring in some of your other groups. So over a period
Mhm.
of the first few months of 2023, I channeled 13 different higher dimensional galactic races.
Wow.
And so each session was targeted towards a specific galactic race. And what I realized as I was doing that is that, okay, these are just different aspects of myself because we're all multidimensional. And
Yes.
so, Jenna, whatever you're channeling, likely that is just part of you, right?
Yes, no, that has been made clear
Yeah.
to me.
Yep. Yep.
And in fact, so one of the stories is that I started like channeling this energy from another universe. So, and I was called awesomeness. And it was called awesomeness in my head because Ormetus, who is the collective that I channel, was like,
It sounded that way.
I was looking for an English word. I was like, what is this called? And I didn't think I didn't know what I was channeling other than a frequency that seemed like from a different universe. So that's how it began with me. It just was me. And then it felt like it was something beyond me. And then I began to understand it more as I have grown and tapped in and had these deeper conversations.
Likewise,
Yeah.
I used QHHT and did a big journalistic project where we did 23 different QHHT sessions, and it's a quantum hypnosis basically was able to bring in, and that was how I really worked with my frequencies and was able to really embody, not free, not have to do the electrolytes and everything like that. But it took a little while. And also my higher self did let me know exactly who and what I was working with.
Yeah.
And so that was very magical. And I think a lot more people are having those experiences as well. But it can be a little jarring too, right?
Yeah.
For those who
And I think I feel like there's a deeper important conversation here as to, wow, if we were that expanded and on that planet, what really is our mission here on planet Earth?
very good. Very good. I'm glad you asked that. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
You take it away, Lisa.
what I have now come to understand, and again, so I'll be 53 this month. And so
Mhm.
almost 40 full years of this spiritual deep dive. on and off of learning things. And part of it was like intellectually, but then I would really need to integrate it, embody it. And that has come again more online in the last 5 years that I've lived here in Hawaii when I've allowed myself to, because I did human life really well, like having the marriages and the kids and
We both did too. We
the
were
normal
really good at fitting in.
And what I know for myself is that I do have way more non-Earth lives than I do this Earth life. I did come here to fully be, to play this human role, but to bring in this higher dimensional perspective and to first and foremost integrate it into my own life. So the messages that come through, I've had to really live it myself. And that was one of the things that I would see in that channel school I was a part of. That channel wasn't necessarily like integrating the teachings into her own life. There was a very distinct difference between what was being channeled in that life. So for me, in being in integrity, it's okay. I need to actually walk this talk so that then I can really share it from an authentic place. And I did have to play out the really major lessons of human drama. I've been through some real, like some of the darkest, deepest depths that one can experience in humanity. And I know that I signed up for that at soul level so that I could then come out of it, number one, and be empathetic with people and understand. Because before I went through it, I was like, how can someone stay in an abusive marriage? Or how can someone do that with their finances? Or there was a lot of judgment that I actually had. And so I had to go through that to come out and be like, okay, now I understand how someone would do that or why they would. And it made me an even better human. So, and also then because I went through it and I feel like I've been the rising phoenix throughout my entire life. And so by coming out of that fire and evolving and expanding, then I actually had something I could share, even if it's just helping one person who's going through something. That's what I'm now here to do. Like, but if you told me in my 20s, 30s, or even 40s that I would be channeling, I'd be doing spiritual healing or teaching, I would have told you you're crazy because I wouldn't have the same kind of life experience that I've had.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Do you want to take it to some more real world things? I know that one of your gifts is really to help people find their galactic key and their remembrance. Where do you start with clients and people like that so that we can really unlock with our galactic key?
So, number one, we all have galactic lineage. So, just even knowing that, and whether you believe it or not, but just even that little seed planted, I think helps to start unlocking that remembrance. And what I do is I take people through it, we'll call it deep relaxation, we can call it hypnosis, whatever we want to call it. But when people get into that deep, relaxed state and they're guided, not led, but guided, then whatever is coming to them. And so, Leonka, I know with the QHHT, it's like that. Whatever wants to come out
Yes.
is there.
Like Nostradamus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about what happens when they come and how to be calm and the way showers. I was like, oh my gosh.
And so that's one way that I help people connect with their galactic family, with their galactic team. And with that, it becomes more real because I know there are, and I love having people read me or do things like that. But when I'm told something versus when I experience it myself and I
Mm-hmm.
get to see it, hear
Very
it,
different.
feel it,
Yes.
it's very different. I feel
Mhm.
like it becomes more embodied, more integrated. And so
Mhm.
I like leading people, guiding people to meet their own family, whoever it
Mhm.
is,
That sounds
Yeah.
rather than just telling them. Because I know some people get told, you're Pleiadian, you're
Uh-huh.
Arcturian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're
Yep.
like,
And
are you sure?
and the thing is that we're all of it. And people like we're we tend to be very tribal here on Earth. We like
Interesting.
being part of groups and
Uh-huh.
even with sports teams, right? People are very tribal with sports. They're tribal with being patriots to their countries,
Yeah.
all the things. And
Yeah.
so then even with these galactic races, it's I'm Arcturian. Oh, I'm Andromedan.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
ninth density. Oh, I'm 11 or what?
Yeah. Yeah. 12. They're so significant. Talk about judgment. It's
yeah.
just
There, it does
significant.
come back,
Yeah.
comes back to that. Yeah, sometimes.
It does. And so, really, what I've come to understand for myself, which I needed to, is that we're all of it.
Mhm.
And so, even though the Arcturians were the first ones that wanted to come through with the channeling, that particular life is bleeding through more for a specific reason. And it's because
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
of the healing that I'm here to do, but I'm all of the other things too. And
Yeah.
so whatever is bleeding through for someone, that is there's purpose for it,
I
but it
love that.
doesn't mean that is all that you are.
Mhm. Yeah. One of the questions on the chat was any advice for imposter syndrome?
Ooh.
And I feel like there's also, it's becoming more and more clear to me how we have this collective belief system of we're not good enough.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
and I feel like even imposter syndrome or where you don't trust yourself, that is where this begins.
It's a practice. So sometimes I think we've all heard just like you, in order to be something, fake it till you make it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She
And
hates that.
I do. I never
I-
really got it.
I get it from a different perspective, but I know she's like a feeler going, oh.
Yeah, because I really almost, it's almost like feel the fear and do it anyway. It's wait a second, what is the fear really? And I feel like it's really a new energy that you're just not used to yet. So you run from it. It's just a new energy. It's
We
not,
could have a whole podcast on that one. Anyway,
I have a point of view about how people say things.
okay. And I don't use that terminology, but it's
Mhm.
something that's
yeah, yeah.
common in our
Right.
society. But so
Yeah.
that whole like the faking it till you make it, one can feel like they're an imposter. There is
Yeah.
some imposter syndrome in that because you're like, I'm not it yet. So I am an imposter. But
Mm-hmm.
the more that you're holding that frequency, the more that you are really holding that vision, the emotions that you would be experiencing in that reality,
There you go.
then you are actually attuning
There you
to
go.
being that.
Mhm. Very
And
nice.
You're like
so,
one of the first that's explained that very well.
Yeah, that was well said.
Yeah.
okay,
And
well,
so that
thanks.
helps to bridge that. There you go.
Yeah. And so really, so you might feel like an imposter, like you're faking it, but it's a practice. And
Mm-hmm.
then again, it's really the more that you can hold that frequency, then you do become it. You just
Yes.
naturally.
Yes.
And there were many times where even in a QHHC session where I'm moving and my body's doing stuff and voice is not, don't even sound like mine. And then I'll wake up because I'm still here. I'm still present in the way that I channel. And I'll be like, I just made all that up. And I'm like, so then I go back and listen to the recording. Not only did I have missing time, but I like, wow, I had no idea all that was going on. And it is a common thing that people will say when they first start having those experiences. And I think that also confused with imposter syndrome, right?
Yes,
Because the ego wants to keep you protected.
it does.
Yeah.
The ego really does some
Goofy
work.
things.
It,
I love it. I love you, ego, but she be doing some stuff sometimes.
So you're saying the doorway out of imposter syndrome is to keep practicing it.
Yeah.
I
And
do,
looking
yeah.
at where you're calling yourself a fraud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a label, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so the more that we're labeling, that's a judgment.
Yeah.
And what my team, again, like I used to be super high J on the
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
that
love that you're saying
scale.
that, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now number one, I have enough life experience, and they have helped me over the last several years get out of that judgment of realizing, okay, we might judge someone's whatever they're saying or what they're doing, but if we are truly infinite beings,
Yeah.
this is just one human expression of infinite potentials that we're living,
Yes.
then we can't actually judge what someone chooses to come and experience here on Earth, because this is not the one and final life that we have. It
Mm-hmm.
is. And so the analogy that they gave to me in 2023, and this actually came from my Orion group, was looking at Earth like it's an amusement park. And so if you think about the different continents and the countries being different rides, roller coasters and Ferris wheels and the tilt-a-whirl and all the things. And we don't judge people at the amusement park for wanting to go on the loop-de-loopy roller coaster or the really easy ride. We don't
Mhm.
judge them at all. We're just like, oh, okay, that's what you want
Moving.
to do. And
Uh-huh.
so when we start looking at humanity in this way of, okay, someone's chosen to come in and to experience deep poverty or really like hard illness or being a total victim, getting murdered, whatever it is, or the opposite. Oh, I want to be very wealthy, or I'm going to know what it's like to actually kill someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we understand it from the higher level, we
Mm.
can release the judgment.
Yeah, that's a big conversation right there too. Yeah.
It is, and I know
Yeah.
I know they're like my mother, she passed, and so I can talk about her.
Love to hear you. It's okay.
But she came in and she had a really difficult childhood. She was
Mhm.
sexually abused by her father, my grandfather, and that as a human, it really messed her up
Mhm.
psychologically.
Mhm.
And it was something that she was not able to ever understand or forgive, even
Mhm.
though she understood the spiritual stuff, but that was her wall. Couldn't get over it. And so, even though as horrible as we perceive that kind of experience as a human, I didn't even know this was going to come out right now, but it's just an example of, okay, that's a soul contract agreement
I
that
know.
she and my grandfather had of, okay, let's play these roles for each other and see what happens. And
Mhm.
now, in a different life, maybe the roles are reversed or
Right.
something similar. Like
Right.
we get to experience all the sides of it.
Yeah.
And we take this human life so seriously.
Mhm.
And when we start understanding that this isn't the one and only life, because, the saying, you only live once. No, we don't. We actually,
I know I laugh about that with all the
I know.
kids.
I'm just like,
YOLO.
no, we don't have
Yeah.
one life.
I know.
We're, we're infinite beings. And when I know in our pre-chat, so my husband, just over 2 years ago, he committed suicide.
Oh
So that
boy. Oh
was
no.
an agreement
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
he made. We had our agreement, but it's that physical form, yes, it's not there, but he's still there,
Yeah.
right there
Mhm.
on the other
Yeah.
side. He's here in the room with me, like he's helping guide me. And so
Mhm.
again, we're energy. The soul doesn't die. Our essence doesn't die. The physical form does. And we come back, we play different roles for each other here on Earth and then elsewhere.
Yeah.
To even give you another perspective, not you, but like to the audience, like it could be that the grandfather played the role for the mother so that, and she went down the spiritual path. She could have used that as an opportunity to empathize with others who had that experience. I've talked to several people who've had that experience. It was more common, I think, back in the day for whatever reason. I don't know. But it could help free more young people, more young women that were experiencing that. Like those are the things that can be trends. You know what I'm saying? It can just be, we can alchemize that into something more and realize that. And then it's almost, thank you for you being the one that did that to me. I know that sounds crazy to say out loud, but I now have be able to set X amount of women free just by telling my story or whatever it is. So those could be different reasons why we have these whole things played out, especially like for you and your journey. That's one of the hardest things that someone can go through. We talked about that in the pre-call, is that type of grief. And for you to be here talking about that and sharing that, I know that there are people that are healed from just your words right now, but it's a little bit dangerous. Some people get mad at the person that passed away, that committed suicide. You have anger, you could be, right? Like, how did you leave me like this? I've seen lots of women say that. And for you, again, for you to be able to sit here, I know it's empowering. And I hope people can receive that way. I just wanted to stop the call and say that.
I have a question. You said that was their agreement or their contract. Where is free will in this? Because in my 20s, I could have gone down a really dark path that might have led to
Free will is
everything.
Right.
I'm asking
Okay.
her though, because
know.
that was an agreement, and I just want to take it back for the audience in case there's a different perspective there.
That's a good point.
And we all do have free will, right? We have choice points at every turn.
Yeah.
Everything is a choice point. We're going to go quantum now. So we have infinite lifetimes, and even in this Earth reality, all timelines are existing simultaneously, and every choice that we make shifts us to a specific kind of timeline. And so we're changing timelines all the time. And when we change that timeline, then we have a whole different history. Now, if it's baby steps, that history is going to look very similar to what you've experienced or what you remember. But if you're doing a massive timeline shift, let's say, then your past, it's completely different, and your understanding of it is very different than what it was in that other reality. When we come here to play these roles for each other, like I know with my husband, one of our agreements was that I was going to finally understand what it felt like to be really loved and supported. She didn't know how to be nurturing at all because she wasn't nurtured. So growing up with that, which I chose, I'm like, okay, I'm choosing mom. And I know that I chose her so that I could have that earlier spiritual kind of understanding instead of religious baggage that I would have to unpack for years. And so with my husband, he was the one who I felt love and supported. And I also know that I only know this now. I didn't know it when we moved here, but we moved from Olympia, Washington to Hawaii back in 2020 in the middle of COVID. And it's crazy. Over Thanksgiving, so just a few days ago, one of my best friends, we were doing astrocartography because I had never done that. She was researching like where my like hot spot is, right? For my whole life. It's here in Hawaii. And I'm like, okay. I felt called to be here. I couldn't have gotten here in the same way that I did without my husband coming with me. So like our agreement, he needed to bring me here to Hawaii so I could fully actually live my mission. I could come out. And even when he died, like that next morning, I'm talking to my team and the trees, actually. The trees were the ones giving me the information. And I'm like, did it really have to be that extreme? And they're like, yeah, in order for you to be fully anchored into your mission, your path as a galactic ambassador, he couldn't be in your energy anymore.
Wow.
And so, because even though he loved me and supported me, he was very polarized. He loved politics. He loved watching the news and like getting really riled up.
Yeah.
And he hated his job. And there was just all this
Interesting.
stuff in our house
Yeah.
that kept energy pulled down. And here I'm trying to be elevated.
Yeah.
And I loved him. Like he was the love of my life. And that energy, they were like, you couldn't be in that energy to do the work you're doing.
Interesting. I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that everybody has to go and not be with their person, but
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, we all have our different ways in which we do that.
When my father died, it was really wooey like that. He was sitting for my daughter while I was in Rome, and I had worked with a master healer, and I said, I don't know I feel tethered. I feel tethered. And he's, what do you think is tethering you? I was like, my dad and all his belief systems. Not that he was a bad person. I just felt tethered. And I was just trying to get rid of these tethers. And then we came back from Rome, and a week later he died. And I went to that group of healers again, and I said, do you think that me letting go of these tethers was why your dad had choice, but he let him go? And I thought that was like really interesting. I was like, does it really work that way? He had a heart attack. And then there's the human reality, and then there's this, whoa.
Other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just to speak to that, because what I understand from the other side now, we have different exit point choices. And so there's not just one.
Yes.
There are different points. And before my husband died, like a few years before he died, I was having these visions, premonitions that he was not going to live a long life. I didn't know why that was coming into my head, but and I didn't like it. I'm like, but I thought, okay, maybe he's going to create some disease or get killed on his motorcycle. I never thought that it would be something like suicide. And what he has come through from the other side to share is that I saved him many times. Like he was to exit earlier, and he stayed around longer than he had planned because of me. And Jennifer, what you just said about your dad, so I experienced the same thing with my mom too. In terms of really connecting, it is a deep dive journey. We tend to get some of the best, strongest information when we are in deep relaxation, when the ego really steps to the side, because the ego does like to be in control, likes to decipher the information that we're getting. When we can get out of our own way and do that deep dive relaxation and allow the information may come again through just knowing, or you might see, you might hear, you might feel, like all the different clairs will come into play with this. And it's a practice. The more that you are receiving the information and trusting that information that's coming to you, then the stronger, more anchored it becomes. And so it does. Generally, it's not going to come to you necessarily randomly unless you're asking and intently, okay, I would like to know this. And then you might get a download, you might get a drop in, it might come in your dream state or when you're driving. But the more that you are doing like more of that relaxed kind of meditation where the mind quiets so that other things can come in, then you will get more information. And the more that you are getting to experience it at that level, then you get to integrate it more. If someone's just telling you something, my teacher, Denise, she was like, even if you feel like you're making it up, just go with it. We can't create things that aren't real. in our minds.
If you are saying stuff in your mind that has a place coming from a place of fear or that is triggering fear, I'm talking fear. I'm getting these premonitions that are terrible. Like they just they don't have a real love behind them. Remember, that is not the truth. That it can be, but you can always put a prism of white light around you if you feel like you need to have that type of protection. And I always say, for the highest good and heaviest good for everyone involved, of all. And that right there, that little like declaration lets my ego know that this is it's coming from a beautiful place and it's totally always from the highest good. We're infinite beings. We don't need protection, but our ego needs to know that.
Thank you. What I want to do, I'll do it just very simply because even just this one thing that I'm gonna do with you guys, if you just do this regularly, it can clear so much out of your energy. What I know for myself is the more that I have cleared away the stuck emotions, the traumas, the more that gets cleared, then number one, the higher vibration I can be in naturally. And then also the clairs are coming online. My body is in a frequency where it's able to heal itself faster, easier, because we all have that. And we're clearing out old patterns because we do get in ruts. And I've been there myself again throughout my life because I needed to experience that to understand, oh, yes, I can get out of that rut and change and all of that. So if everyone who's on here, if it's safe for you to do so, close your eyes. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top and exhale fully out of your mouth. Just relaxing your body, relaxing your mind. Another deep breath in. Holding at the top and exhaling. Above your head, I want you as clearly as you can to see a beautiful white sparkling light energy. The sparkling white light energy, it's coming down like a waterfall and washing over your body from your head down to your feet, moving into the center of the earth. And as this white light is washing over your body, any tension that you're holding on to in your surface muscles is being dissolved into that white light energy to be flushed into the center of the earth. Now opening the top of your head and seeing that white light energy pouring down into the top of your head and moving down through your body like a river, down and out through the bottom of your feet into the center of the earth. And as this white light energy is moving through your body, it's clearing away the debris. It's removing the blockages. It's shining light in all of the dark places. Now putting your attention on any area of your body where you feel stuck energy. Just scan the body. You intuitively know how to do this. Anything that's ready to be released today, just focus on what part of the body that sits in. And I want you to see this energy as a particular color, as a mass, and just observe it in a neutral way. No judgment on it. And seeing that white light pouring down into the top of your head and moving to that part of your body where that colored mass is, and letting that white light dissolve that mass turning it into tiny particles to be flushed out through the bottom of your feet into the center of the earth. And as that white light is just pouring down into that particular area, it's evaporating that stuck emotion, that trauma, in divine perfection. It's okay to release it. It's okay to let it dissolve. It's served its purpose. You can let it go now. Letting those particles be flushed out with that light through the bottom of your feet into the center of the earth. And as this white light will continue to pour down into your body throughout today, it will continue this process of flushing this emotion. And now I want you to see blue-green energy pouring down into the top of your head and filling up that space. The blue-green energy has healing properties. It's filling up that vacant space. Just keep seeing that energy. And I want you to see yourself inside of a pyramid with that blue-green energy swirling all around your body, immersing yourself in that healing energy frequency. And now we're going to bring you back to this time and space, allowing that energy to still percolate around you, trusting that whatever was stuck is released and that you've filled yourself back up with pure healing frequency. And opening your eyes when you're ready.
I'd love to hear your comments in the chat.
Wow.
Ooh. It's so funny. Like I was sharing this with Lindsay Robinson, who's a hypnotherapist, and I know that I'm becoming more suggestible because I practice through my own hypnotherapy, but sometimes I like really feel like I was gone. And yet I'm back here with this blue-green light. It's cool. Yeah. Tiffany said it didn't want to come back. I had that similar thing. Mia said, wow.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. For me, everyone always makes fun of me, but I always do the yawnies. Because that's just how I release. And so
Yeah.
all of a sudden you start talking and I was like, I'm like, oh gosh, here we come again. Like my eyes are watery and I can't tell if it's like from I'm feeling like the release of, oh my gosh, it totally was that. That I was feeling release of things that like were stuck in my body.
Yeah.
And because I'm yawning so much, like I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that, yeah, the release can come through like when we're exhaling through that breath, through the yawns, the tears, however it needs to be released from the body. And just letting it happen. Don't judge. Don't try to stifle.
Yeah.
My buddy was like, yep, she said it was okay to do that.
I have a question. This might be something for our next call, but if we've got some like collective conclusionary information about a pain that's in our body, is there an unwinding that you would recommend for people who are like, I can't just put blue light in this because I have a dislocated shoulder or something like that? What are your thoughts around that? Is that a simple question or is that something for another
That's a
conversation?
good question.
Well, actually, I think that's a really good question because, okay, so I am not like a huge fan of Western medicine. And
No.
there is a time and place for it. If I was
Mhm.
to break my arm, I would probably go to the doctor and have it set and wear a
Sure.
cast and
This
do
is the
the
biologist, y'all.
yeah. Now, if it's something else, like over the last few months, I was going actually through my own kind of major health thing where my body was physically expressing stuff going on, stuck stuff. And did I go to my kids were like, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, no, I don't. They don't, they will
Mm.
just give me the Band-Aid for
Yeah.
it. No, I need to do the deep dive. What is the emotion behind this? Why? What's coming up so that I can heal it, not
Mhm.
I
just.
love you telling your kids that.
And, and so I think it really just depends on what kind of ailment it is. If it's
Sure.
something where it really is like just physical, truly physical,
Yeah.
and yeah, there might be an emotion that created the situation where you got that physical ailment. And so, yes,
Mhm.
address that. But if it's something like a dislocated shoulder or do
Yeah.
something physically to help support that. Now,
Mhm.
what I, this is again, it just popped in. I have been in several different car accidents where I'm not the one causing the accident, I'm getting hit. And so what's interesting is when I look back of, okay, where was my mindset?
Mhm.
What was happening when I'm getting
Hmm.
hit?
Mhm.
And I can see the pattern that my emotions actually did help create those
Yeah.
accidents, even though
Uh-huh.
it seems really random. Um,
Mhm.
but even the more recent one was when I still lived in Washington, I'm driving to Seattle. I'm in downtown Seattle on, I think, the 99, and I was on my way to pick up my son from his dad's house. And I was not happy about having to
Hmm.
drive in Seattle traffic. And my husband at the time, the one that passed away, he was in the car with me and there was something going, we were having some emotional stuff going on and I'm driving. So like my mindset is not good. And we pull off the off ramp, just sitting there. And out of nowhere, this big box truck, a rented box truck from Enterprise, comes
Oh
barreling down
my goodness.
and hits 12 of us, sideswipes 12 of
Oh
Oh
them.
my
boy.
goodness.
Some
Gosh.
people got men.
Dude, you can't be borrowing those things.
Oh, and then, but I got sideswiped.
Yeah.
And and so looking at that, I was like, okay, my mind was reeling already. So
Mm.
it's no wonder that something massive hit me
Mhm.
because so yeah, so a little long windy answer.
Hey,
No, but
beautiful.
still, I feel like even like a stillbirth or a miscarriage, there's purpose there. There's
Yes.
growth there.
Yeah.
And I think that even with these little annoying things like being swiped or your car being keyed, there's
Right.
some frequency and some growth there. And Leonka and I've talked about us being a lot of the people in our world are just NPC players, non-player characters, and we're played as if we're the avatar and how things show up. So even that you were a part of a creation of, yeah. We won't go too long. I want to share your special offer with the audience. And
Yeah.
I also, Dodie asked, she recently purchased one of your meditations. She asked how often you should use that. So I wanted to make sure she got her question answered too.
Okay. So Dodie as often as you need to.
Okay, great.
And even the one that you did here, you guys can listen to this on replay and just forward to the meditation.
Yeah.
And she said, do this often. You heard her say, do this often. So you can just listen to the replay here. We always have it on YouTube as well. So that's available for you as a resource.
Yeah, and we will have chapters so you'll know exactly where the
Yes,
meditation
that's
starts
right.
too. So here is your special offer that our team has created with you. Do you want to go ahead and take people through the experience of what they'll get when they
Yeah.
invest in this offer?
Okay. And so the wisdom of the galactics piece of this, that is where I introduce people, help them connect to 13 higher dimensional galactic races. So there are
Wow.
14 sessions. The first one is an intro to all 13 groups, where you're basically, it's like a meet and greet kind of journey. And then each specific group goes into a deep dive in terms of really understanding their energy, getting messages and gifts from them. But then they each have a very specific kind of journey they take people through. This was channeled, by the way. Take people through to understand this earth experience from a higher perspective. And so, like with the Arcturians, they do this emotional healing process. With the Syrians, it's all about physical healing and being in a state of joy and play. The Zetas, and I know some people have some negative charge on Greys or Zetas, but they're an amazing group.
Yeah.
Uh, and they're really great teachers on neutrality, being neutral to the outcome.
Oh, wow. Good.
And then the reptilians, there are different reptilians from different star
Yes.
systems in different frequencies, so you cannot lump them all in one category like the Greys. And so, like with the reptilians, they take you through a journey of transformation and adaptability, and they all have these beautiful messages and wisdom that they share. So that's the wisdom of the galactics. And then I think we do have the multi-dimensional.
Yes, there's 2 courses here.
Yes. And
Yes.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
yeah. So then the multi-dimensional self, it's a 4-part series where again, it's teaching and then it's also meditative journeys to really help people anchor this in. So the more, like the first session is all about clearing away our judgments of ourself. The more that we judge
Mm.
ourselves, the more we judge other people. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're clearing out our own personal judgments of ourselves, then we're able to release the judgment of other people. And that could be like the guilt, the shame, the perfectionism, all that kind of stuff. So we're clearing that away. We're really honing into our self-love because in order to be a high frequency earth human, really coming from your heart, first and foremost, loving yourself fully. Only from that place can you have unconditional love for humanity and our greater galactic family. And then connecting people with their higher guides, whether those are galactics or angelics or whoever wants to come through for people. I'm trying not to limit it to galactics because some people really do resonate with the angelic realm or the
Mm-hmm.
fairy realm or
Yeah.
animals. And so, and then the final one is really like that fake it till you make it imposter syndrome of what is your highest timeline potential?
I love
Well,
that.
let's put the focus on that. What are you doing in that life? And acting as if that life is already here because it is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so really living as your highest self. So
Mhm.
that's so it's the
Yeah.
whole like journey of getting the messages to elevate humanity, elevate yourself first and foremost, because when you do this journey of healing yourself, of loving yourself, of being the light, then your light actually propagates out into your family, to your neighborhood, to your community, and the greater earth, and even through the universe. So
Mm-hmm.
it starts within always.
Like the lessons here, Lisa, I know sometimes it's hard for us to always choose, oh, I'm going to do this for myself. Honestly, when we are healing, we heal the world. We are
Yeah.
doing this for
Yeah,
others as well. Please know that your light expands and saves people. It
yeah,
saves people. Yes.
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
One of the things I've heard recently, isn't it selfish to do all this self-work? Number one,
What?
it's a judgment. And
No, it's okay though. People sometimes we have those things. Those
and it's, yeah, it is selfish, but it also is selfless because it is your energy really does affect everything around you.
and more than just the butterfly effect. It truly saves, like it lights up other people in the energetic realm.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
being in your energy as a changed being, as a changed, as more of your infinite being self, as a
Yeah.
changed human. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know people who meet me in person who maybe haven't met me before, they can feel that frequency,
Mhm.
right?
Sure.
And so the more, even like when I'm hugging people, they feel that frequency.
We can
Oh, we
feel
can
it.
totally feel it. The minute I talked with you, I was like, I know I need to have her on sooner.
No, I'm of the point of view that show me somebody like amazing, but you really are amazing because you can feel it in your frequency. It's you really can, and it comes across on video and whatever. I'm very much have the opinion that if you want to learn to channel and you want to have more of this connectedness and this oneness in the world, this might be the
Mhm.
package for you because that's what I sense is some of the outcome that,
Yeah.
oneness within yourself, within the galactic. And it also then you threw in that other program that is all, it helps people even that may make the conclusion that they're more of a beginner. It helps them connect more with just their higher self. And I think it's just a beautiful package, those two together. And it's interesting. You can really tell the real deal. Everyone that comes on the show is the real deal, but you're really the real deal. And thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability. I'll stop rambling on. But I did want to just point that out. It's for us that are sensitive and we can really notice.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You can always find everyone if you're looking for her package, if you're listening on audio, it's at houthustle/LIVE. And you can find it there. We also have it in the description anywhere that you are finding your podcasts. And again, it's just looking for the special offer again. It's just that big yellow button, and you can also go to the URL.
Yep, it's at houthustle.com/Dr-Lisa for the direct link to her special offer.
There you go. But it's right at the top of that live page as well.
Yeah. For now, but if you're listening in 6 months from now and you still want the package, sure. If it's not closed, and if it is closed, you'll see a big sold out sign on it. So beautiful.
Lisa, thank you so much for your time here today. It was totally worth it to go a little bit over, but everyone stayed on and everyone has some beautiful comments here on the chat too. So thank you everybody for joining us. Just a couple announcements. We have the new summit coming up. It is January 5th through the 9th. Mark your calendars. We have a beautiful lineup shaping up for that summit. And it's going to be 3 speakers a day starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. That is Monday through Friday. It's going to be fun, y'all. And it is going to be really cool because it'll be at the beginning of the year. So we'll be really thinking about ourselves, yay. And self-love. Yep. And self-care. So a lot of stuff for embodiment as a reset. I know it's funny, should we do this all the time? But we really do. It's humanity comes to a collective where we generally start, because I did all the family and I did all the holidays. Now this is the new year. What do I want to achieve? And so it's just a great time to do that challenge with us. It's going to be very interactive. The other thing too I wanted to say is that we here at Haute Hustle, we give a portion of our proceeds to support youth and women-related causes. Right now, we are supporting rising-up.org. It's rising-up.org. And it is started by students who take laptops and tablets to be refurbished to give to other women, students, people in need. And right now, today is Giving Tuesday. So in honor of Giving Tuesday, just wanted to remind you, if you feel like if you can't send us the laptop or anything like that, feel free to make just the smallest donation of even $3 would help to buy the supplies to continue to refurbish these laptops. We've been able to have some beautiful laptops be donated to the children. And so they are working to get a new volunteer setup. They're doing a whole volunteer bank. and they are needing some supplies for doing that. And they also are giving away gift cards to kids that may not be able to participate in the book fair. So if it's sad when kids can't participate because they don't have the funds at home. So we're giving those to different teachers in the schools, and they can give those out to someone they think they wasn't able to participate in choosing a book at the book fair. So just beautiful things like that. Again, you can find a donation link. It is at risenup.org. So that's RYZEN.org. And you can also
put in the newsletter.
Yes, we can also find that in the newsletter. So again, just wanted to let you know that we always believe that you are the best part of what makes Haute Hustle here.
Yeah, join us for another a doctor of chiropractic this Thursday that's going to have another galactic conversation.
Oh my gosh, isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
Yeah, all these people from like science and backgrounds and coming over to have much more of this mysticism conversations. We just keep it rolling.
I know, it's fabulous. Yeah. You guys, until next Thursday, take a little time to enjoy the woo.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.